Hello and welcome to the Smiths Hire Preview Show. I'm Jed Mills and here's what's coming up on today's episode. We'll look ahead to this weekend's Emirates FA Cup third round tie at Hartlepool United. Dan Grimshaw discusses his impressive performance in the New Year's Day win over Hull. Former Seasider and now Hartlepool striker Mark Cullen gives us an insight on the opposition. Plus Neil Critchley shares his thoughts ahead of this weekend's visit to the Suit Direct Stadium. Well, discussing all of that and more with me in the studio this week is former Blackpool striker Andy Preece. Andy, thank you very much for joining us. Happy New Year. How was the Christmas period? I suppose for you, still very much involved in football, a busy time.
Yeah, it's always a busy time. There's no real rest, and it's normally a really important part of the season. And for us, you know, it was a good 2 games where we won both games, so put us right in contention.
Well, one of the questions is about COVID and games being called off, and I know you'd had some as well with Chorley, but Blackpool just seem to be motoring on and lucky enough have been okay with it, although some players have been out. But how would you rather be playing than maybe training, getting ready for a game and then it being called off last minute as games have been?
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. It's open to people making the most of it, you know, because now injuries are coming into it. But injuries are part of football. You know, you're going to have injuries. Blackpool have had injuries this year. You know, so the odd COVID case and then 6 or 7 injuries. You know, I find that difficult for teams getting away without playing. But you know, obviously the safety issue with COVID, it is a tough one. But I think sometimes it's an easy way out for the odd team.
And later on, though, in the season, this is something I've been looking at, is that, and we had this, remember, with COVID, I think, last time when the fixture list was Saturday, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I mean, it was like so many games, and players are going to get injured and tire, where I'm thinking with Blackpool, because they've got the games in the bank, they may be better off later on as the league sort of winds down to May.
Yeah, it definitely can be an advantage to those teams who are playing and playing regular. So you're going to have to catch these games up at some point. I can't see the leagues getting extended. I think, you know, again, that'll be unfair on teams who, you know, who've managed to put teams out, you know, kept players fit, been COVID free, you know, kept by the guidelines, been very protective and made sure they keep their distance. So I think, I think it probably will end up being an advantage for Blackpool.
Well, let's go back to that game against Hull. Good win, needed to get that win, and Gary Medine with the penalty as well. But just sometimes you say, don't you, just if you need a win, a 1-0, anyone will take it, and that's exactly what they got.
Yeah, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, we needed that win, and it didn't matter how it came. You know, it comes from a penalty. You know, and there's some great defending and some great saves in there. But you know, I got told about the atmosphere here. You know, 1 or 2 people came here who hadn't been for a long time and said it was absolutely rocking here, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. And I think, you know, that can make the difference, especially when you're chasing a win and you need that win.
Nice distraction this weekend with the FA Cup.
It can be. It depends, you know. Going away to Hartlepool is a tricky one.
And the weather's changing. That's right.
Yeah, it's just getting nice now for a few shocks. Yeah, it's you know, it's always difficult those early rounds when you're going away to teams who are in leagues below. And you know that they always raise a game. You know, they find a way of raising a game just on that day. So you have to be wary. But you know, hopefully we'll be okay.
Yeah. What about your own experiences in the FA Cup? Any memorable moments, or were you knocked out?
I had a few up and down. Mainly ups with the FA Cup. It's always been a big competition for me. You know, as growing up as a kid. You know, the whole day was FA Cup final day, and I remember playing for Evesham in the first qualifying round or something, down in Taunton or something, and I thought I'd made it. I'm playing in the FA Cup, could not believe it. you know, and I've had some great experiences since. Probably the highlight, you know, scoring the winner for Stockport against QPR, who were a top 6 Premier League team then, in the third round. You know, managed to play in the quarter-final for Crystal Palace when we got to the semi-finals. So it's been good for me as a player, and something I always look forward to.
Obviously, we're getting into this period now where transfer windows open, there's movement, there's talks. But one player that has been recalled, Ryan Winterloop, midfielder, who, you know, since coming to Blackpool has been fantastic in the middle of the park. It'd be a big miss. Yeah,
it will be a big miss, and obviously there's a lot of injuries in that department. So Critchell, you know, be looking to call in a few favours, and to be fair, we brought in some really good players. So the scouting network must be really, really strong. And the problem is when a new manager comes in and a player like Ryan is playing well at this level, then it's likely this is going to happen. That they're going to call them back and put them in their squad.